What is going on, guys? John with the Pro Cut, back at another one. I've got a customer who has a water leak. So let me show you how to detect water leak, and then we'll go ahead and do the repair. So first thing you're going to do is find your meter. You open that up and you can see that little star wheel, how it is turning. It's slow, but it's turning. That will detect the smallest leak. And so from there, you know, you're going to check the easy spots first. See if there's a toilet running, see if there's a sink running, anything like that. And when you determine that it's not there, look at your pipes under the house. And then when you determine it's not there, you start looking for soft spots in your yard. Here on the outside of this plant, you can see all that water in there. So the leak is here somewhere. So we'll go get a shovel and we'll find it. Oh, we're getting closer. You can see all the water running out of that hole now. It's going to be a bad one. Worse than I thought. Alright, so now that I've located the pipe and the leak, what we need to do is shut off the water. And unfortunately, my water key is buried somewhere in my barn. I couldn't find it, so that's alright. I'm gonna show you how to do it with a pair of pliers. Sometimes it's not that easy. Depends on how long ago the water's been cut off. Okay, so you've got this tap here, and you'll see you've got two holes in it. So you're going to turn those two holes so they line up. And the reason they line up is because if you don't pay your water bill, the water company will shut that off and throw a lock on it until you pay your bill. And then they'll charge you a reconnection fee. Okay, so you're probably asking yourself, John, well, how'd you find that so easily? Well, you look at the wet spot in the yard and you start digging at the highest point of the wet spot, and that's going to get you really close. And yeah, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes it takes longer, but that pipe is just right there, and of course it's underwater now, and I could see there's a PVC coupler there, and that's exactly where it failed. It failed at that coupler. So I'm just going to dig this hole out bigger so I can make the repair that's necessary. This 90-degree elbow failed right in the center of it. I don't know if you can see that little stream of water. It's pretty crazy. The good news is, you know, an elbow is a pretty easy fix. We've just got to dig it back far enough both ways to be able to get the pipe to cooperate and put a new elbow in it. So I'm going to keep digging. Alright, so the first thing we did was cut out the compromised portion of the pipe. Now we'll go ahead and get that replaced. So we've got our PVC cement and primer, and I somehow managed to always forget. I brought all my plumbing stuff for PEX and copper. Didn't think this would be PVC, so I don't have my PVC stuff with me. That's alright. So the first thing you do is get your primer open. May as well go ahead and loosen the glue at the same time. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is prime the end of this pipe, and you'll see it takes that ink right off. It also slightly melts the PVC. And then you want to do inside the joint as well. And then I always apply the glue to the pipe, not to the fitting, and then you give it a quarter turn and just hold it for 10 seconds. So that's good for that one. And then use my old pipe to mark my lengths. Okay, so I matched that up to my other pipe, and I added a little bit of length to it because I noticed on that other pipe it wasn't quite 90 degrees like it needed to be. It was a little tight, like somebody had almost like somebody repaired it before, and instead of adding pipe and couplers in like I'm about to, just pulled it in there. Same on this one. We're gonna prime our joint, prime our coupler, glue the pipe, and then put the coupler on and give it a twist. You want to make sure you always clean off all these burrs. Don't leave any of this stuff on here because it can compromise your joint. So you might need to use a knife. If they don't just wipe off. You can usually just wipe them off with your hand. Sometimes you gotta throw a tool to them. Alright, more of the same. Prime and glue. Now it's ready to put into position. Okay, so we want to make sure these are up out of the water. So I'm just going to put this piece of pipe underneath of there and then clean my end off with the paper towel. And there's a pretty significant burr on that one, so I'm going to get the knife and get this burr off of here. To lift that other side up, I guess I just have to get me a hunk of dirt, lift it up, and I'll stick a hunk of dirt under there. And same thing, I'm gonna get it wiped off best I can. Same with that one, has a pretty good burr on it, so I'll use a knife to get that burr out of there. It's kind of important when you're making a repair that you get the blue rain or shine cement, because any water that gets into a joint, if you're not using the rain or shine, it could wind up making your joint not seal, and then you got to redo it. And there's no sense doing something twice when you could just do it right the first time. So same thing, you need to prime your pipes. Now we prime the inside of our couplers, glue the ends of your pipes. And now it's important, let this cure for 10 to 15 minutes before turning your water back on. And when you turn your water on, you always want to just ease it on and let the pressure build up. You never want to just slam it on full bore, because that'll definitely cause a failure. Alright guys, so now that we've got our repair done and it's had some time to cure, we're going to go ahead and ease the water back on. And you just want to turn it on until you hear it starting to flow. And then you'll let that pressure build from there. So we'll go keep an eye on this repair. So So far so good. You can see we built the pressure up. Our little star has stopped, so now we can open this up the rest of the way. And just still, you want to just go easy with it. You don't want to just blast it right open. So it's turned 90 degrees. That's all the way open. And our meter's not starting to spin. So our joint is good. And now we can go ahead and backfill our hole, and this job is done. All right, so now we're going to backfill, and the first thing I want to do is get a little bit of dirt underneath of the corner for the joint, and then it can get filled in. And backfilling is a bit of a pain when you're working with clay, because it just clumps. So there you go. Job done. Easy water repair. You can do it too.